When the police came, Crawford ran through the store out this back door. He ran into these woods where police chased him and then finally caught him, wrestling him to the ground in front of the store. The holidays always mean more trash, but depending on the day of the week that Christmas falls determines how much more trash. Thanks, Ray. I'm here with Nancy Denson, who's running for mayor. Nancy, it's the final countdown. How are you feeling right now? It's not just texting and driving that's dangerous. Police say it's any type of distraction that takes a driver's eyes off of the road, like talking on a cell phone or putting on makeup. Ray, I had a chance to visit the farm where 10 cows have been mutilated in the past year, and I got to speak with both of the owners. We want to alert you that some of the images you will see are graphic. A variety of beef cows roam freely over this quiet 200-plus acre farm. It's hard to imagine such peaceful bovine country could be the site of murder and mutilation of 10 cows in 1 year. The cause of death is unknown. One cow was tested and was found poisoned. Last week, a pregnant cow was killed on the back part of the pasture.
And it looked like you could see in this dirt area right here where somebody had got down on their knees and their elbows, and they got down in there and cut the milk bag off.
Most of the cows that were killed had their udders and genitals removed. All of the cows that were mutilated were found in not very obvious places, like this creek behind me here, where 3 were found dead in May. The Coopers farm is the only farm in the area or Georgia that's dealing with mutilated cows. The Coopers think someone is sneaking onto their property, but they say they don't have any enemies.
If they were going to just do a killing, that they wouldn't go to the trouble to remove a part like that. If they were just mad at us, which we don't have any enemies that we're aware of, but if they were going to do that, they would just put a bullet in their head and keep going.
Hall County Sheriff's Office has been handling the investigation of these cows since the killing started last year.
They had a very clean cut about them. There were no blood around the scene, and on all of the instances of the cow deaths, they've been or very little physical evidence, no footprints or anything leading up to the animals, and very little blood.
Some of the Coopers' neighbors and others believe the cow mutilation is linked to aliens. Another theory is a satanic cult could be responsible. I spoke with a cult expert who wishes to remain anonymous about this case. He said it sounded very similar to a cow mutilation that happened 15 years ago in another state that was done by a satanic cult who used the body parts for its rituals.
This sounds like a cult because of the sophistication and that perfectly removed in a perfect clean way and no blood or other traces. Those are telltale signs.
Hall County investigators have a different view.
Either there's a perpetrator involved that is doing this, but it's also open that it could be animals and insects also preying on the soft tissue of the cow.
The Coopers don't think an animal could have been so precise in its work. The Coopers are patrolling their land more to try to stop their cows from being killed.
You don't rest sometimes because you're thinking, you know, in your mind why and what's going on.
Visit our website for more of my conversation with the occult expert. If you have any information about this, please call the Hall County Sheriff's Office. Around 11 p.m. Friday night, Athens police say they entered the Golden Pantry at 3495 Atlanta Highway to find 25-year-old Kewan Shardy Hall dead from multiple stab wounds. Police are investigating this murder in conjunction with 30-year-old Kenneth Ray's murder from a few days earlier.
The fact that they both appear to be more of a personal thing than anything else, and they coincided. Really, it's just kind of coincidence about the same time. So we're actually looking to see if that's a possibility, but there's nothing at this point that says that they are connected.
Police say a witness that was in the Golden Pantry around the time of the stabbing claims he saw a man and a woman in the store posing as employees. Police suspect those 2 people were the killers who also took the surveillance tape out of the camera. Police were able to find some helpful footage from a nearby store. Surveillance video from Academy Sports across the street from Golden Pantry shows that at 10:48, 12 minutes before Hall's body was found, all the lights at the convenience store were out. Nothing was stolen from the store, leaving the motive questionable in this case, just as it was in the Ray homicide last week.
We're still trying to find out what the motive is on that one. We know that had to be more of a personal nature from the way that he was actually killed.
Ray was shot as he was leaving his home on Nottingham Drive last Tuesday. Police say they interviewed about 30 of Ray's coworkers who said he wasn't depressed and was just a nice, low-key guy. Similarly, one of Hall's coworkers described her as a very nice person who didn't appear to have any problems. In Athens, Rachel Garrett, WNEG News, Northeast Georgia.
Happy, 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 happy. I feel so good.
Happy because he was just named Older Worker of the Year. But as you can see, Watkins is always happy. In his 10 years there, Watkins has worked his way up from truck driver to supervisor to manager. His secret to success? Good customer service.
You got to greet your customer with a smile. And I can speak to them, ask them, how are you doing? And then they'll associate with you.
Other Habitat employees say it's Watkins' friendly attitude and great work ethic that have made the store so successful.
If you stand in that store for like 30 minutes, you'll hear his name called from different portions of the areas of the store at least 15 times in those 30 minutes because he knows where everything is, he knows how to price everything, and there's certain customers that come in and they will only buy things from JP.
Watkins says he's addicted to the store.
They're going to have to carry me out on a stretcher.
And that is the only way he says he will ever retire. In Athens, Rachel Garrett, WNEG News, Northeast Georgia. It's just a jump to the left and then a step to the right. Athens theater goers will soon be part of a local director's dream come true.
I'm a geek, in case you can't tell. I'm a geek. Sci-fi, horror, always have been and always will be. And I have been doing theater now for coming up on 20 years. So the opportunity to do a show that so closely references and pays homage to and satirizes sci-fi, I couldn't miss the opportunity.
The play came before the movie, and Carroll has been working hard to make his production more like the original. One thing both versions have in common is cross-dressing mad scientist Dr. Frankenfurter.
Anytime you get to play a somewhat demented, mad scientist who also cross-dresses, I mean, how can you not have fun with that?
In preparation for his role, Altman drew on his past experiences as an occasional drag performer.
Being able to move in the clothing and the shoes, I'm taking that aspect from what I've learned. But
despite common misconceptions about the show being just for die-hard fans, the director says it's for everyone. And I should know, because I'm in it.
Exposure that it's gotten recently from Glee, from the anniversary release of the DVD. I think a lot of people that have either heard of it or have heard the songs but have never watched the movie and certainly have never seen the play. Hopefully we'll get a decent amount of them in, especially this time of year. We're pretty much the only action in town that's not a Christmas show.
The show thrills, chills, and fulfills its community service with a special bonus performance next Wednesday benefiting the Boy Buton AIDS Foundation. In Athens, Rachel Garrett, WNEG News, Northeast Georgia.